The wealthy CEO stopped the woman who was about to enter the elevator. She assumed the CEO had experienced a change of heart and wanted to compensate her. Although he hadn't actually collided with her, he had given her quite a scare. However, the CEO was asking her to help with translation work and promised generous payment. She immediately agreed. The CEO brought her along to meet with his clients. She performed well at first, but when mealtime arrived, she became captivated by the spread of delicious food on the table. Having gone without a proper meal for several days, she found herself constantly swallowing as she stared at the dishes. Still, she continued diligently translating for the CEO, even though her mind had long since drifted to the food. After observing for a while, she noticed the CEO was eating with gusto and the clients were all focused on their meals. She figured she could finally eat something and grabbed a piece of bread from nearby. Before she could swallow it, the client started speaking again. At that moment, her mouth was still packed with bread, and in her anxiety, she couldn't get it down. The CEO watched helplessly. When she finally managed to swallow the bread, she prepared to translate and even asked the client to repeat what had just been said so she could note it properly. However, in her flustered state, she made another mistake, leaving the CEO feeling even more helpless. Fortunately, the client didn't mind her errors and instead invited her to join them for the meal. She quickly thanked them and glanced at the CEO. The CEO had no choice but to agree, and she was finally able to eat freely. After the meal, she and the CEO saw the clients off. She asked the CEO for her payment. He told her to wait while he went inside to retrieve the money. As she was about to leave with her earnings, the CEO stopped her and reminded her she was still wearing the company uniform. She hurried back inside to change and took the opportunity to look around the room. Seeing the comfortable king-size bed, she felt envious. Just as she was imagining herself lying on it, she suddenly received a call from a friend. She thought it might be news about her father, but instead, the friend told her to lay low for a while. She felt deeply upset. She hadn't expected that her missing father would continue causing her problems. She had already endured so much pressure because of him. She reluctantly prepared to leave the CEO's villa. Before departing, she curiously asked who lived in such a spacious place. The CEO casually mentioned that he occasionally stayed there but spent most of his time at hotels. Her eyes lit up when she heard this. The CEO offered to drive her home, but she declined. After watching him leave, she climbed back into the villa through a window and entered the room she had been in earlier. She decided to hide out in the CEO's villa for a while.